This episode of Speakers of Hydaelyn is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers, Circa Barrakiel, Remia Salia, Omage Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Arcadia Lunarshine, Drumavian, Alex Franco AV, Nina Grimsdaughter, Casey Schaefer, Daimos, Lily Black, Hans Grenade, Sapa Chakwatul, Faris Gentoru, Cletus Oreo, Quick Levin, Luke Leonatrell, Cirrus, Icy Lee, Lyria Rain, Pamela Isley, Umbral Wind, Naive Arido, Celeste Razgris, Elenriel Maximus, Edwin, Bob Cece, Fabson Voidworm, Raimi Maverick, Korid No, Mira Miri, Winebow Brood, Bay Barbalay, Kaiser Regina, Uzora Akari, AJ Brainswordson, Suno Shikano, Gideon Ura, Buster Gearhold, Azuta Starbreeze, Nat Clay, Camille Grino, and Huskies. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Hydaelyn.
Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to Speakers of Hydaelyn, episode 232 XL. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston and Rollo. Important episode. Something happened yesterday. Big deal. Announcement showcase. Reveal of an expansion. The end or the beginning of a new era for the game. We'll, of course, be covering all of that, or we'll be going through all of that today. We'll be analyzing the trailer. We'll break down all the information. We'll read an interview done right out. We'll also cover the live letter, or discuss the live letter, and read an interview done immediately after the showcase and the live letter, which helps provides more information about the stuff they revealed. At both the announcement showcase and the live letter. There will not be Mogmail today, but you can still send us Mogmail for next week with your thoughts and theories about what you've seen from the announcement showcase. speakersxiv.com/Mogmail. There is also not going to be a post-show today, so no questions from the Syndicate this week, so make sure if you are a patron to send in questions for next week's episode. We'll be reading them then. Alright, because we have so much to do, we can't go through what we've done in 14 this week, so we'll just jump into recent events. Right. You'd think we didn't have time for recent events, but we really have just one small story for today. Valentione's Day and Little Ladies' Day is coming up on February 10th. A combined event.
Interesting.
It's better combined than the last combined event.
That's true. That's true. So we know that they're struggling a little behind the scenes due to the pandemic. So I guess to cut back on, instead of having to make two events, they're sort of just combining two. We don't know much about it, but Lisette de Valentione appears mildly distressed. Is all we have for the lore text here. She'll be located in Old Gridania. But what's interesting is that decorations will be different in... So Limsa, Laminsa, and Gridania will be celebrating Valentiones, and Ul'dah will be celebrating Little Ladies' Day. So decorations will reflect that. The city's residential districts, however, will be decorated according to the schedule outlined below. So that's how they solved that. So you'll have Valentione's Day decorations from February 10th to February 21st, and Little Ladies' Day decorations from February 21st to March 8th.
Significantly longer for the Little Ladies' Day decorations in the residential districts.
Yeah. I guess it kind of makes sense because Valentine's Day is, well, technically just one day. So,
Yeah.
I mean, so is Little Ladies' Day.
That's true. That's true. All right. So the rewards are also clearly reskins. So they have a lot on their plate right now. I see it. It's the Moogle cap with a heart palm and a stuffed Moogle with a heart palm.
It's cute.
Yeah.
You're only gonna be able to use one item as a Viera or Hrothgar, of course. I'm calling it right now. So
Yeah.
hope you guys enjoy the stuffed Moogle.
Enjoy the stuffed Moogle, Viera and Hrothgar. Yeah. Looking forward to a new event, or two events in one. I wonder if it'll just be... Because last time we had a combined event. No, we didn't have a combined event. We had just an event that overwrote the other.
Overrode the other one, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they said that this is a split event, so that there will be like the first part, and then like the second part will unlock like a week or two into it.
Okay. Right.
That's nice. I think that's always okay.
That's nice. I like that. Okay. Right. That's that. That's it for recent events. That's what was it? February 10th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To March 8th.
Okay. Main story.
Mm-hmm.
The announcement showcase happened yesterday. We did, by the way, we need to address yesterday, or just a few hours ago.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We streamed for what was supposed to be 14 hours. Turned out it was 15 plus. I believe it was almost 15 and a half. We made Gummy. And that's that. That's all I wanted to say about that. But we did cover the event, the announcement showcase, which had been like plagued with before the event started. There was a part of me that started to doubt that we were going to get good news. There was this like nagging feeling that what if this isn't what I wanted? Turns out it was what I wanted. It started exactly the way we had expected it to start with the trailer. However, the trailer was not quite what we had expected. Although, we'll get into that. We'll look at the trailer. The expansion is called Endwalker. No one saw that.
Ew.
Yeah, ew. No one saw that coming.
No.
Well, at least no one here. I'm sure someone in the community has... There's always going to be one that'll like, actually, I did.
Back in the 90s, I had a prediction.
I posted it on a forum in 1998.
My web ring, you can come find it.
All right, so I think we'll just jump into the trailer, audio listeners. I think this is where the episode will cut for you. So if you want to watch the analysis, you're gonna have to switch to the video version. All right. Let's see here. Here we go. Peggy 16, of course. Always watch the correct one.
It's best King of the Hill character.
All right, so because we've all watched this before, we're not going to watch it and we're going to stop at all the points and start the analysis immediately. So
yeah,
here we go. Make sure you've watched this before you watch this video.
Yeah, if you want to see normally, go do that
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah. All right. So we start, of course, this was the big reveal. Like this, I love that they just started right on. You know
Mhm.
immediately what this, you know.
Moontime.
Yeah, it's moon time. It's moon time. And
Going to the moon.
he's been teasing the moon a lot. Yeah, not much to say right now.
Are we supposed to hear something?
Oh, sorry.
As in me and Rollo?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, we don't hear nothing.
Do you hear it now?
Nope.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. No one can hear anything. That's me. I'm a boob. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, they put some nice Nirvana on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Kurt Cobain came back from the dead to make this track.
All right, the suit of armor. And then there's our Derplander,
Yeah, he's a paladin.
and he's on the moon.
Mhm.
Very
And
bright.
here's the memed part. So
Mhm.
apparently he's wearing shoes with Square Enix on the sole. That's an interesting thing there, but all right. He loves the merch. All right. Now here is the big one. The
Look,
final
little
days were upon us.
dragons. They wiggle.
They do wiggle.
They do wiggle. This is an upsetting picture because you can see that there's something wrong with Garlemald in this picture.
Yeah, it seems
The
to
moment
be.
I saw that, I'm like, wait, look at Garlemald. Oh. That's not what it's supposed to look like, is it? Also, the world's on fire, which will become more apparent in a little bit.
So this was a map made by an Eorzean.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Garlemald so massive, whereas every city-state in Eorzea is very small?
Maybe because it's now a huge death spike tower or something.
Well, I guess it's because Garlemald just is very massive. Like, it just takes up a lot of land, I would assume. But also,
It's a
how
lot of
would they
land.
know? That's what we've always been asking ourselves. Is like, why? How would an Eorzean be able to map Garlemald? I don't think they're welcome in there. So I don't know.
If you kind of compare it, Garlemald is almost the same size as Vilbrin.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
big. It's pretty big. So if you had a keen eye when this was first shown, you would have noticed that they've suddenly added Radzat hand. Oh, sorry, the Thavnair's. No, that would be Radzat hands.
Yeah, Razor
Flag.
hands.
Thavnair. You can also on the far right see Dalmasca being part of the map.
They don't have a flag still.
They don't have a flag, but it is there. I also noticed that there's some other name, I think, right above the Dalmasca thing, but it's like there's a cloud covering parts of it.
Oh.
But yeah, there's also a long one. Do you see that? There's a lot. Okay,
You're gonna have to give us some mouse.
I'm gonna show a mouse
because
I feel like I need a bit more information.
here.
Let me.
It's illegible, but it's a long word.
Oh.
Is it one that already exists on the map?
Oh yeah, because this would be the burn, wouldn't it?
It's next to the burn, yes.
Because I think that's the burn over there.
Oh, they can't see the mouse, by the way, but it's just that part right above Red's at hand.
They can't see the mouse? They should.
There's like some little bit of floating gold text
Okay, so that
on the
They
clouds.
can see it.
Okay.
so that area that you are highlighting is actually not labeled on previous
Oh.
maps. So that is a new area.
Well, there you go.
Actually, no. I think it's no. Could be. I need a bigger version of this map. It could be the anchorite core, maybe. It's long enough to be
The
the
anchorite
anchorite core.
Corvus. Okay, that's probably what it is then.
Hmm.
Yeah, the at Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
Okay.
yeah, I think that's all of the stuff that's new. I mean, these two things are the new. This flag and this is new. Even though we've technically seen this part of the map before in the Return to Evil story, when
Yes.
Fran shows us a map. But yeah, there you go. All right, things are about to get
The fabric of the star
dramatic.
had begun to fray, its lands rent by tooth and claw.
Well, let's talk about
Hey.
the fact that that's Emmett Silk for a second.
Yeah.
This trailer is narrated by Emmett Silk.
So I wonder, is he talking about Eorzea or Hydaelyn, or is this just him retelling what happened to his world?
Yes.
Maybe that's like the big thing. Like, it's
Are we
happening
just
again.
re-experiencing, what happened to his world, and that's why it just fits?
Days were upon us. The fabric of the star had begun to fray. Its
His voice is a little
rent by tooth and
off? Is this just me?
He sounds
He doesn't have his usual speaking
no.
nasally. He's a bit more nasally than,
The final days were
or he's
upon
usually more
us.
nasally, I should say.
The
Sorry.
fabric of the star
Remember,
had begun to fray.
The-
Its lands
They're probably
rent
still recording from home.
Yeah.
Probably not getting the
Yeah.
voice direction that they would have got during Shadowbringers.
Yeah.
tooth and claw.
Yeah, the final
Yeah.
days were
Jose?
upon us, which is also something he said about Amarant. So I think it's
Yeah,
that's
CG twins.
CG Alizé fighting a void scent
In Nim.
in Nim, which is on fire. There's a lot to take in here. God, they are so scary. I actually hate these things. These are
Darks.
yeah, they are horrible.
Oh,
That's what you get for hard casting. Stupid.
Like, I remember first seeing these in, I think these are from 11. And when I was like fucking, like, I don't know how old I was when I first saw these in 11. I was like 10. Fuck. Gave me nightmares.
There he is. Look,
There he is.
there's a lot
Paladin.
less,
Yeah, go on.
lot less blue on the AF gear than usual.
Yeah.
There's some on the cape, but every paladin thing has like a lot of
Yeah.
blue on
so
there.
when he cut off the Dark's tail, kind of cauterized it, which probably helps with the age rating.
It's a laser.
Oh, yeah, you can see
sword.
that. Yeah. That's funny. It's like, yeah. Interesting.
They took that
And
skill away from paladin. Wow. Shield swipe is
maybe-
gone.
Maybe you're getting it back,
Maybe it's
Rollo.
coming back. Well,
The fucking
we probably should. Well, there he is. So now both of them are here in CG.
Well, so the thing that always bothers me about cutscenes is that healers don't use their weapons to heal.
no.
He's just using his hand.
Which, by the way, you could do in 1.0. So there you go.
Mhm.
You didn't have to pull out your weapon to heal.
I can look after
Again.
myself, you know.
The team
You're
just
about
really
to
loves
die,
Gundam.
Alizé.
Sorry, what did you say, Rollo?
Team just really they're going super hard on the Gundam stuff.
Yeah, they are.
That's just the funnel. That's just the funnel.
Alizé is wearing. Well, both of them are wearing new gear, but she's wearing
Mhm.
new because Alphino. We'll get to what Alphino is when we discuss the
New job.
new job. But he's wearing the artifact gear for that job. Alizé is she's just got a new outfit. She's still
Yeah.
a red
Mhm.
mage.
And I've had enough of this rabble. Come on.
All right, cut to a man
Yeah.
beginning to fire.
Your boy.
Very.
It's
Mm,
it's your boy.
he's not my boy.
It's your boy.
Mm,
Fan Daniel.
mm. All right.
He's wearing a sensible turtleneck.
So, Voidark. Or at
Awfully
least
looks
Maki.
like it.
Or at least something
Mhm.
Maki.
It is flying. We see that later.
Yeah.
Is a lot more HR Giger than usual.
Yeah, yes.
Mm-mm.
Well, all of Voidark is HR Giger, though, isn't it? It's just very...
Yeah, but this one's.
I think
this stuff here
I think it
seems-
pops more because it's CG. Like, this is
yeah,
that could be
way...
it.
Yeah. Right, goes up. But this part, like, what is this shit?
That's very weird.
It's
But
a
then
fast
again,
elevator.
we do sort of just become energy when we jump around Delubra and Regine.
That's true. That's true. He walks out on the decks of what... I mean, I don't know what this is. If this is
A
like...
tower?
This,
I
is,
think.
is this the tower then?
So,
Maybe?
Or is
very-
it a ship?
this is worth pointing out. Some people are theorizing that on the left side of this throne, you can see what appears to be a scythe, and
Oh.
they're thinking that Xenos will be the new melee DPS job for this expansion.
You're right. That makes
Mm.
so much sense because we never see... The only thing we see of Xenos is this one shot of his face. That's it.
Mhm.
There's no way they're just going to leave it at that.
Mm.
And he said, last time we saw him, that he needed a new weapon. Remember, he
Yeah.
broke his weeb sword and just left.
Done
he
with
found
samurai.
a scythe. They might tease that in the next patch. He might come back with the fucking scythe, and that's when we'll see the full... Because remember, the FanFest is after the patch. That's when we'll get the next part, because the spoilers for what we're talking about later. Patch is in April.
Yes.
FanFest is in May. So, makes sense. All right.
After the first part, before the second part.
Yeah. This makes sense now. The more you look at it, the more it looks like a scythe just resting on the side there. Interesting. Yes, it's definitely something that he's put there because otherwise it would have been symmetrical. It would have been on the other side as well.
Mm.
All right, so
I see. Yeah, okay.
yeah. For those that don't know what we're talking about, I'll just show it on stream. This thing, right? You can see it's like resting. If you can sort of imagine the scythe just keep going like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. So he's watching as his country burns to the ground. This is
I mean,
Garlemald. Well, I don't think he identifies with any nation, to be perfectly honest.
I don't think Xenos has ever cared about Garlemald.
No.
He sure doesn't.
No. Well, he's watching someone else's country burn to the ground. All of Garlemald in flames.
The Agrius, I mean, ain't Agrius.
What
Yes,
I want to
and-
point out, which I don't know if we'll ever look at it, but what's sad to me is that we'll probably never see Garlemald the way it was. Because this gives us a bit of a better idea of what like Garlemald proper looks like. Like it looks like a very modern city, and they showed us artwork at some point in the announcement thing, showing actual roads, like roads with like markings on them, like that's weird.
That's gone. Sorry.
Yeah, that's just gone.
gone.
We'll never see that probably.
Shadow's bringing up, there is the possibility of an Echo flashback.
But we might see Echo flashbacks. That's true. But we'll never
Or
be
the
able to
rest-
like walk around
The
it.
Garlean restoration.
All right, we see Xenos.
I like
we see his
this Xenos code.
disgusting eye. I want to put my finger in there, like my fingernail, and just flip it out. I'm sorry. It's just a feel. I just want to do it. I want to remove it. All right, back to the moon.
Coming of the end.
And Paladin, poster boy.
Yeah.
Earthlander's never going to be a magical class, is he?
No, because Magic's lame.
I know.
And title.
the Star Destroyer, the fucking the Angel from Evangelion in the fucking ground. It's all there.
Yeah.
Space expansion.
Fall
Anime.
2021.
I think I'm higher on the theme than I was on Shadowbringer's theme.
I don't feel it yet. I need to hear it more. But
I like these two more than Stormblood and Heavensward, I would say. I like both of them more.
oh, Heavensward was great.
Oh no, I think Dragon Song is still the best of the ones that are actually released.
Mhm.
I think it's good, but I don't know. I just didn't hit that for me, you know?
You've never been a fan of Heavensward, Rolo.
I like Heavensward. What are you talking about?
You put Stormblood over Heavensward. We have this on file.
Story content, yeah.
And Chad is also bringing up. I feel a little bit upset that Susan didn't return either.
I agree,
But-
but yeah,
She might.
Mhm.
We still have another trailer, so there
Yes.
might be something.
the teaser trailer for I think all of the
Heavensward?
expansion. Oh, wait, did Stormblood have? Yeah, no, Stormblood did not have the song either with Susan.
Revolutions in it. No.
No, they so there might still be a main theme with Susan in it. So we'll see. I do wonder though if Susan's not coming back because it was like Uematsu's choice,
Mm-hmm.
and that like he's doing his own thing now. I don't know.
But she's still a big part of 14. Like, I think even Soken knows that.
Yeah,
like,
and I think it would make sense to bring her back because she was the voice of Hydaelyn in Answers. So this is the end of like that arc that she's been part of. Would make sense to bring her back, in my opinion, but we'll see. All right, I think that's
Moon Haunted.
Whoops. Okay, let's close that. Right. That's the trailer. Big hype. Yoshi P enters the stage. Speaks in English and German.
There was also French in there, but he went through that quickly enough that
Did he really? Did he do French as well?
I think so. I might be mistaken.
I don't think he did though. Well, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Okay, did. Wow, he must have he went through that real fast.
I think he really stumbled with the German. That's why it was more
At
noticeable.
no point did I hear French, so that was interesting. Speed French. All right. He wasted. Well, he did waste some time. But then he started revealing the new job because he explained, that trailer revealed a lot, but they can't reveal everything. That is just the teaser. So we'll get a bigger or longer trailer.
We're gonna watch the little job trailer too for the stage.
We probably should do that.
It's just short. Probably just say something about it.
Okay.
But yes, also Yoshi P was very upfront in telling us what the two roles would be for the jobs this expansion.
Yes.
Because when they left that open to interpretation last time, they revealed the tank, and they're like, "Ooh, there's gonna be another one."
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
And people.
Whoops.
But hey, he delivered. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's gonna be one DPS. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I was not expecting it. I was not expecting a tank at all.
He kept reading. He had these little monitors at the front of the stage with chat on it, and he walked like an old man. He walked like Sid from Final Fantasy VIII with the hands on his back, just looking down. It was quite strange. But all right, let's. He then reveals that the new job is a healer. That Alphino, the one you saw Alphino as in the trailer, and then he said just watch the trailer or the job trailer. So
he was walking like Camilo Xehanort.
All right.
This is like a very long battle animation too, by the way. And you cover a lot of space.
It's very wide.
So
Look, there's your one DPS spell, your heal spell, and then here comes your AoE. That's all you get. All you deserve.
Yeah, I feel like they've shown off every single DPS skill that the Sage has in this trailer.
Okay, there's a lot that's worth noting here. But first of all, that's Sage, the new healer job. But there, you'll also notice, so there's a lot of parallels to one city-state that we have yet to visit. Charlian. First of all, that fight took place in the Google Library. Second of all, that gear looks awfully Charlian. And
does.
3, Alphino is one. So it almost feels like it's being linked very heavily to Charlian now.
Just, I do want to say though, before some people might get too into that one, the Gunbreaker trailer was an Amarang.
That's true. That's a good point. Well, they couldn't. I guess they couldn't show.
Where were they going to show?
Garlemald
Bosnia?
or
No,
Bosnia.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's all.
I also want to point out. I think Win just put that in chat. A Sage is manipulating ether, and that's kind of the Charlian thing.
It is.
That's what they do. They invented Aetherites. So it's, well, they didn't invent Aetherites. They reinvented Aetherites, you could say, based on elegant manuscripts.
I will say, even if this does not allude, even if it doesn't turn out to be that we're going to the city-state that we think we're going to, I think this is very clearly a Charlian job.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
It is a barrier healer, which is important to note, with a unique weapon
Shield
called
for you gringos.
Neoliths. So barrier. So from now on, from 6.0 onwards, healers are going to be divided into 2 groups: pure healers and barrier healers. Isn't that what they call it? Sorry, pure.
That's
Pure and barrier. Yeah. So, much to Rollo's despair, Astrologian will obviously have to be reworked to become a pure healer.
They just take and take. That's all they can do. They can take from us.
So, Scholar and Sage will be barrier healers. White Mage and Astrologian will be pure healers. And they will also change how party finders work so that you can specifically look for barrier and pure healers.
I think that's nice though.
I thought they said the duty finder would change how it worked.
Was it duty?
I could be mistaken. I don't remember the exact terminology, but I thought that the duty finder would try and pair you up with one barrier healer and one pure healer as well.
Wouldn't it? It would be strange if they couldn't specify that in party finder. I guess you can just set the jobs. I would say both. If they're changing the system,
I would suspect it would be both, but I thought they specifically said
raid
duty
finder is what they said.
Oh, they said the raid finder.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. All right.
I have to say, I think Rollo is the only person I've seen be upset about the removal of diurnal sect.
Listen, I have diurnal sect. Diurnal is the best sect, like hands down. Nocturnal kind of sucks. But it was neat. It was fun.
But Rollo,
it was like
you're treating this as if they're just removing diurnal sect and that's it. They're gonna
No,
rework your job.
They're removing nocturnal sect.
Sorry, nocturnal.
nocturnal.
Yeah, they're removing nocturnal sect, and now that's it. You keep everything else.
I know, but it was just like a cool thing about astrology that you could do both. Like that was the cool.
Yeah,
cool
but it
gimmick.
made. Yeah, I can see that. Yes, but it.
And then it's like you took the cards away, you took disable, you took fucking, you taken nocturnal.
Rollo.
What do we have left?
Rollo. Remember when they literally took all of my unique skills and then sold it back to me as roll quests skills, and I couldn't even buy them all back because there was a limit?
Those times are over now, though.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's your turn to feel the fucking pain.
Listen, astrologians, again, Diurnal is the best. Nocturnal kind of sucks ass. But it was neat. It was fun and to mess around with it in mid-core, and you could just adapt to stuff. It was cool. It wasn't. It doesn't have to be the meta. That's fine.
I am sure. Well, I said this yesterday, but at least now your job feels like it has more of a purpose going forward. You have a place in the meta, hopefully.
This better come with a big healer rework in general.
I hope so.
Because
it unlocks in Limsa Laminsa, Sage. I mean, so there you go. Whether or not, I'm assuming this expansion will sort of focus on getting healers on the right track. Because remember, this expansion has been more about resetting all the healers. And hopefully, and he did mention that they're going to work more on perfecting the healers or making them more fit their class, like the pure versus barrier.
Why are we saying barrier? We're going to say shields. I don't think English people say barriers, do they?
It's a cold barrier. What? They said
You just
barrier. They said barrier healers.
Well, they say barrier healers, but I think most people will end up calling them shield healers.
That's true.
Yeah, shields and regens or whatever.
I'm just reading what's in our notes. But okay, shield healers. Okay, shield and pure healers.
Regen.
Are we going to say regen healers? Regen.
I don't think it
shield
matters.
healers.
I don't think this is going to come up very much going on.
All right. I forgot what I was saying. We're moving on. Melee DPS will be revealed in the May Fan Festival. Speculated to be Necromancer. Now,
something with a scythe.
There's something with a scythe. I believe Reaper, has been brought up.
I think Reaper is a more likely way to refer to the job.
Yes.
I feel like Necromancer implies a certain degree of magical ability that a melee DPS would not utilize.
Yeah.
I don't think Necromancers are viewed very highly in AORCI either.
No.
And
yeah. I think the
Harvester of Souls.
Okay, so we should probably explain why Necromancer and Reaper is the hot topic right now. Yoshi P was wearing a t-shirt. Well, originally he was wearing a t-shirt that said no comment, and then he took that off, and there was a t-shirt underneath that had like the Grim Reaper on it. I don't remember if anything else that had any significance, but there was a Reaper on his shirt. And then, as we saw in the trailer, there looks to be a scythe resting on the side of the throne, and I think those are the two clues we have right now.
Well, there's also the shirt he wore during the live letter.
Oh yes, and during the live letter, he wore a Children of Bodom T-shirt, which
some like Finnish metal band, right?
Yes,
is that what it was?
Yes. Right. It'll be interesting if it is Necro or Reaper, because never expected to see those in this game.
No.
But here we are. As expected, Endwalker will be the final story in the SoH Hydaelyn saga. Not a surprise. I am surprised that it looks like we're having a fucking Cataclysm expansion, but I don't know how. It can't be permanent. It can't be like a big. Well, we'll get. I think we'll talk about that. The story.
As of now, we have yet to see anywhere burning that is currently accessible.
Right. Yes, that's true. The story is planned to be started and completed in 6.0, but this is not the final expansion. Because at the beginning, it was kind of ominous. There was this like weird tension. You saw it in chat, and you can almost feel it on the stream. He's like, the end. And he's like, there was even like he focused on final Endwalker, like in the Japanese translation. I was like, oh god,
finale.
For a second, I'm like, oh no, this is the end, isn't it? But it is not the final expansion. Six. In fact, from 6.1. So, I mean, you'd think this whole expansion is the end of the saga. Apparently, it seems like 6.0, just that, only that story is the end of the saga, as we know it. So
Yeah.
from 6.1 on, there will be an entirely new story that is separate from the SoH Hydaelyn saga.
What will we have
That-
left?
There are many continents left on our planet that we have yet to explore.
Just fucking imagine how much story is going to be packed into that expansion. That is a lot of shit that needs to be resolved in just one. Well, it's not a patch; it's an expansion, so it's going to be a lot of story, anyways. But it's going to be epic.
Maybe we'll finally get to fix Uldar.
Going back to that one. We've blown up the moon. We won.
Yeah.
Zodiac and Hydaelyn are dead.
Yeah.
Let's go for Lolo Rito now.
All right. 6.0 will involve a journey to the moon.
I think that was pretty clear.
Yeah. Fandaniel is not the last boss. Hides a secret not disclosed yet. So there's a secret. They didn't want to show us the rest. They couldn't talk too much about the story because it would reveal something if they revealed what Fandaniel knows something, like a deep secret.
I mean, he still is an Ascian or an whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, we shrunk.
Right. Okay, so there you go. Now, the second thing that people were worried about with this expansion was Yoshi P's status on the team, because he's said a lot of weird things, ominous things in interviews about his time on the 14 development team. But he reassured us that he's not leaving the project team. He considers it his life project, and also he said that he would be on 14 until he died.
Yes.
And he said some people want him to continue even after he's dead. And then they made a necromancer joke. See, this is why I wonder if necromancer is it. Maybe it is Reaper. That's why they kept saying necromancer to throw, because they love throwing us off. Or maybe this is reverse psychology and they're saying necromancer, so we will think, but then it isn't necromancer, and then it is.
I do think it'll be something with the sites, but I don't know if they'll call it Reaper or
No.
Necromancer.
We'll see. Okay, so there you go. Yoshi P, safe in the producer-director chair for now, or forever, it seems.
Or
at least in one of them.
At least one of them, yes.
Yeah.
He never said he was going to continue doing both, and I kind of want him to not do so much work.
Yeah,
I don't want him
I
to
agree.
die soon.
New level cap. They then moved on to just here's the rest of the information. We will of course get a new level cap. We'll go from 80 to 90. Not much to say about that. That happens in every expansion.
Hope we get a level squish soon. Because
We better make the fucking 100 before we get a level
it'll
squish.
be
roll.
so unsatisfying if the next expansion is when the level squish happens. I want
after
100.
100, I want one.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yes. So that's that. And then they said massive new areas jumped on to this point. The same scale as Shadowbringers.
Good.
As to
Shadowbringer
be
zones are massive still.
Yes, yes. A new city was revealed. Rad's at hand. So there you go. The flag on the map, obviously, because it's now an actual city-state that we can visit. Seems to be based on Indian architecture and culture, located in Thavnair. Very colorful.
They said that this was the smaller settlement.
Yes. It's essentially the Yulmore of the expansion. But the entire island of Thavnair will be accessible as well. So there you go. That's one zone that we have revealed, and a city.
A nice little island vacation.
Yes.
Maybe one day we'll get to see the rest of what is the Kugane?
Kyushu?
The nation.
Oh wait.
No, Kyushu is a real island.
Sorry, yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Fuck.
Hingashi.
Hingashi,
Thank you, chat.
yeah.
Yes, maybe we'll get to go see that someday.
Maybe.
No. They did a really bad job of differentiating them from Doma, so I don't think so.
Yeah. So they also teased that the other city-state is huge, the size of the Crystarium, but because of spoilers, they cannot show it. Garlemald, this was sad news. Although something we have talked about that, yes?
The monkey's paw.
Yeah. We were always questioning how we would ever make it to the Imperial capital because it's the Imperial capital. So, unfortunately, they chose, I feel like, almost the worst option, which was to just fucking blow it up. So we don't get access to Garlemald proper. We get access to the ruins of Garlemald. So
It's not a dungeon.
it's not a dungeon.
Not a dungeon.
That's
I think that's fine.
And I'm also going to say there has to be some people here. A zone with no people will be very, very weird.
That's true. There's going to be it's going to be people. I wonder, actually, it is intriguing to see. This has never been done before in the game. Well, we've never been to the city-state, so I guess it doesn't make any. Okay, never mind. Well, it'll be interesting anyways. I'm sure most of the story will be around Garlemald will be rebuilding and giving them democracy.
How quickly do you think? What you know how there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zones. Which numbered zone do you think Garlemald will be? How early or late in the story do you think we will be going here?
It's a good question.
It wouldn't be the final zone. That has to be the moon. So
that has to be the moon.
That has to be the moon.
Or something else. So I'm thinking like maybe zone 5 or 4.
I'm kind of surprised that they show it to us if we're getting there that late.
Because what I think is going to happen is that we'll go Thavnair, Dalmasca, and then through Dalmasca up to Garlemald, probably. There is I don't know what's bordering Dalmasca in Elsabard. Like what there has to be something in between there. So 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 probably is more quite accurate. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, it is weird that they showed us that quickly, like already. I mean, that's one of the last zones.
Yeah.
Go on.
And also, if it's destroyed, it's not exactly like there's going to be anything stopping us from just flying there.
True. Yeah. It's intriguing. It's sad that we never get to see it, walk around in it. But there is one thing that they showed, which I'm getting ahead of the notes, but there's a train station that looked relatively unscathed. It looked pretty clean, so there might be parts of Garlemald that's not completely fucked.
Maybe there's like an underground railroad.
There'll be a Garlean district or whatever. There'll be like the Alamegan quarters, the Garlean quarters. that's where we get to see some of it.
There'll be the new because Rollo's right. The train station is probably underground. There'll be like the new Gilmora. There'll be there'll just be a race of people that live underground now.
Yeah. All right. So new beast tribes. Hell yeah!
I love them. They're so cute.
The Matanga, from the Arca Sodara tribe, which are elephant men. Long noses. No, they're not. They're quite short.
No, they're not long. They're quite short.
Yeah. Blue.
Don't they despise Al Ra too? Right? Isn't that a thing?
Oh yeah,
at least the ones in the steppe do.
Yeah.
You imagine going up to them as an Al Ra player and they're just like, "What the fuck? Get out of here! No beast tribe for you."
Yeah. So
I always thought that they were underutilized, considering they exist in only a single cave in in the steppe and then appear during Asnare
Yes.
map dungeons.
Yeah, yeah. There was they hinted at more beast tribes. Did they really hint that there was one on the moon?
Yeah, Yoshi Peach said that there might be one on the moon, and that's when I had the idea of like a race of poo-poos.
Oh, the poo-poos. Right, you're right. Yes, I forgot. Yes, that would be. I would. Please.
If there was a race of poo-poos, I'd be so happy.
You know what? Here's a poll. New beast tribe is going to be French people, just like
What?
because in other popular Square Enix game, Bravely Second, the moon was just populated by French people.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Right.
that's my theory.
I see.
The
Okay.
Quebecois will be.
Okay. All right. Moving on. A new enemy was teased, and it was none other than Anima from Final Fantasy X. A very significant character in 10. Or monster. Well, character / monster. Which is made by the original 10 designer for Anima. It was created a new design specifically for 14. Looks still very much like Anima as we know it from 10.
He really just happened to be on the team, huh?
Yeah. It makes you wonder because Anima was Seymour's mother. So this could be someone's mother?
Xenos' mom.
I mean, we don't know anything about who Xenos' mother is, or even who Emmett Selk's wife was.
No. So that's
it was
intriguing.
us.
God, Xenos' mom. Yeah, that would be interesting. Okay. Then they showed us a couple of dungeons. They showed us a Thavnarian dungeon on fire. Very cool. It had like this I just know. There's this one arena with this big woman statue, and you're fighting between her legs, like underneath. And I'm like, this is just for the meme, isn't it? Like, people are gonna be memeing about fighting underneath the big lady. Look at how people fucking lost their minds for the Resident Evil lady. This one's like 50 times larger than her.
No, she's made of stone, not sexy.
Oh, I see. Stone, not sexy.
Uh-huh.
I see. Stone, not sexy. Yeah.
Probably the first dungeon of the game.
Probably, yeah. This is probably our like way into Thavnare. But what it's interesting though that Thavnare is already on fire. So like the world is already on fire.
I don't think this is our way into Thavnare. I think once we get to Thavnare, this will be like the last thing we do in Thavnare before we leave.
Oh, okay. Okay. But the world's already on fire by the time we're in Thavnare, because that place is on fire. Then there's a Maki dungeon, a very disgusting looking Void Ark dungeon. Cool.
The meat zone. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
the
what it is.
Torture chamber.
I don't know if it looked like meat to me. But
no, it just looks like gross.
As we've established, meat is only for things that have brains. Only things with brains claim to have meat.
Famous speaker line of wisdom.
It's true. Yeah. Looked very intriguing, very Giger. I love that weird aesthetic that the Giger art has. So I'm glad to see it again in a dungeon. And then there's what we talked about, the train, possibly like a train graveyard or a train station, something underground, possibly of Garlean design.
Two possibilities: Doom Train or a reference to 7.
Yep. I hope the final boss there is Doom Train, because they have teased it before, and this is probably our last chance of fighting the Doom Train, because Garlemald's gone. God, that's becoming clear now. Is that after this, there is no Garlean Empire.
Hey, it's just the capital. The capital.
The
It sounds like it's
capital, Rollo.
I-
The emperor is dead. The crown prince has lost his fucking mind. The imperial capital is fucking blasted out of here, and already all the provinces, Rollo, were already like, we're not too keen on staying in this empire anymore. What do they do when the
There's
capital
definitely-
is gone? They
there's
break
definitely
apart.
probably like outer, capital area that might be okay.
I don't
There was
think so.
clouds. you
Rollo,
know.
yeah, that's fine. I think Ilsabard's nations will survive, but I don't think the Garlean Empire will.
Garlean Empire too.
Who would do that?
Don't
Who would be
know.
like, oh no, the Garlean Empire's gone. We should revive it. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. But maybe the Garlean Republic will rise again.
Maybe Garlemald had some suburbs out there that weren't destroyed.
Yeah.
And they elected emperor, like fucking that. Yeah,
No, we will install a democracy. Thank you very much. That is
Well,
what we do.
that's what I mean. So the empire is dead. I mean, I think it'll just be, if anything, the Garlean Republic will be back.
Here's a
Okay.
theory. So Anima is most likely a primal.
Yes.
How about Doom Train as a primal
Oh,
from all the Garleans that survived? And like, our old technology saved
I would,
us.
oh, that's so fun. That would be great. I would
Wouldn't it
fucking
be so
love that.
fucking stupid.
They pray
I'm-
to a fucking train and give it life.
uh,
That would be funny. Yeah.
That's all. They don't believe in gods. They believe in technology.
the most powerful thing of all, public transportation.
Your primal roller.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. It's just gonna be strange that it's gone. All right. Anyways, Eden is gone. Sorry, Eden is done. I mean, we're getting a new high-end raid,
Mhm.
and they had nothing really to show of the raid itself, but they showed a piece of artwork for it, and it had an Ascian with only half the mask visible. But if you remember, I mean, it's a very recognizable mask. It was clearly La Habrea. La Habrea is getting his own raid series in this expansion. We were, which is funny because we were like talking about like how sad it is that La Habrea never gets any. Like we know nothing about La Habrea other than the few scraps they give us every now and then.
Sympathetic of the unsended.
Yeah. And then they just went ahead and made a fucking raid series about him. It's called Pandemonium.
No, say it right.
Oh, Pandemonium.
There you go.
Well, or as I like to say it, Pandemonium, because that's an A. But yes, Pandemonium.
I mean, I will say, I'm glad that we know that this is a La Habrea raid at the start.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been nice if we knew that Eden was about 2 Ascians at the start.
Yeah.
I think it was a nice surprise.
It's
It felt very accelerated. I hope we get a decent amount of time to get to know La Habrea.
yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's a 14 original, so it is rooted in our world. It is not a crossover or anything.
Do you expect some 9 references?
Not yet because of the name. I think there will be some 9 references. They'll probably go the Eden route where there's just like subtle references instead of
Put Ozma. Put Ozma in
2?
there again.
Oh, Pandemonium was also the final dungeon of 2, so it might be references to both 2 and 9. I think we say 9 because 9. I think 9 is more present in people's memories than 2.
It's a
I'm
little-
sorry to say, but that's just how it is.
It's sad, but it was not released in English back in the day.
No.
FF1 and 2 are kind of.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's something.
Yeah.
We got chaos though.
Everyone wants to forget 2. No. Okay. I don't think everyone wants to forget 2, but I think it's more like most people nowadays might not even have played 2.
People forgetting about 2 It's just not knowing about 2 in the first place.
Yeah. let's not forget that Final Fantasy II came out in 1988. It is 32 years old.
Oh, God.
So it's not that present in people's minds. All right. Let's. Yes, so that's good. Also, they jumped onto the Alliance raid. Sorry, did you say something, Georgi? Did I talk over you? I'm sorry.
I said it was the same age as you.
Okay. All right. New Alliance raid. I think they said that was also original story. Yes, that's
Yes, they
completely
did.
original. It's not a crossover. Centers on a piece of Eorzean lore that's remained a mystery.
I think they also said things that very closely implied that it was gonna be Gelmoran. What you've always wanted.
I
Nikhil.
don't know. I feel like the translation. I don't know if it is.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hype that up as Galmora, but I need more information before I can hype that up. But it is interesting. It could also be. No, I don't want. This is an Alliance raid, I don't want it to be like the thing under Silvertier. That would be very anticlimactic if that was the Alliance raid. But yeah, Gelmora, maybe Amdapor. Who knows? Well, no, Amdapor isn't that mysterious.
And I feel like Amdapor is more likely to be tied into the MSQ.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so look forward to more information on that in May, probably. New small-scale PvP mode was also announced, which will be more casual with no role restrictions.
How small scale?
I think, weren't they comparing it to the Wolves Den or whatever? Not Wolves Den, sorry. The Feast.
Did they say that?
Am I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
That is not as stressful as the Feast or as difficult to get into would be cool.
I'd try it, and I want to like it. I want to like PvP in this game. I do.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. New side quests, role quests, crafter quests, and gatherer quests. 5 different types of role quests rather than 4, because they're now splitting it up into tank, healer, ranged physical, melee physical, and magic DPS physical. Sorry, ranged.
I share Mailer's sentiment that I did not want a continuation of role quests this expansion. I wanted class quests. I understand why we aren't getting class quests, but that doesn't mean I'm not disappointed.
You're getting a class quest, and then you'll visit your old buddies and be like, wow.
I want
Aren't
the
you
opportunity
cool?
to expand on our old job and class quests in more than a single quest, please.
You just want that because Scholar has shit to do with Nim.
Hey, we already spoilers. We cured Conference. Shut up.
True. Yeah. So yeah, I think that they said that we're probably never going to get job quests back because it's so difficult every time they change their jobs to make it reflect in the job quests. So it's just how it is.
But the role quests were really good this expansion. Some were better than others, but they were still pretty quality.
Really good. I liked the tank and healer ones. I think both DPS ones were a bit underwhelming.
I think everyone but the physical DPS was good. I hated that fucking Catboy. Sorry.
I think the magical DPS one has a chance to be improved upon via the void quests going forward.
Yeah. All right. Then they showed off some new gear and recipes very quickly. It was a very quick slide. Looked.
I think you enjoyed one of them. Was it the blacksmith?
I don't even remember the slide. to be honest.
No, I just remember you having a very vocal response to it.
You know what? I don't remember this at all. I remember there being a slide, but I don't remember anything on it. But yes, a probably good looking gear. I can't remember it. Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
The Red Knight one was really cool, and I think the blacksmith had like his
Oh, was this
titties
when they
out or
showed
whatever.
the white mage gear?
Might have been when they showed the white mage gear. I can't remember this. I
You
can't
see-
remember this slide exactly.
You seemed to like it when they did the white mage gear, but
Okay,
I guess
well,
after you realized,
initially, and then I'm
Well,
like, wait, hold
you
on.
yeah,
Uh,
it was a lady, and then it was
Yeah,
you know,
I thought
you know
it
it's
looked
expected.
nice on the lady, and then I'm like, wait, that's not gonna look good on the kill, is it? That's not gonna look good.
the black mage cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck?
There was a
up with
cat.
that?
Yeah, no, there were 2 slides,
Yeah,
with
there's 2
gear.
separate ones.
but yes.
Well, I like the final Ragnarok Firmament Fate is in 15 minutes. We won't be there, but
no. Good
something for
luck,
us to check out.
Ragnarok.
First server, that's news.
Is it? Oh wow, congrats.
No European servers have completed it.
There you go. Okay. Moving on. There's a trust system update. Estinian will be joining us now. He will be introduced in the next patch, apparently. So, which makes sense because Kryl and Tataru went out to look for him. Or is it just Kryl? I don't remember.
Both of them went.
They both went. Okay. So they're gonna blackmail him, and now he'll be joining.
Got a new hairstyle. Tied his hair back.
He has
Yeah.
indeed.
They better bring his fucking bath water too. I get thirsty sometimes in those dungeons.
I mean, we do need a physical DPS. The last one we've left behind in a different shard.
Yes. True. So that's that. He will be available from the next 6.0.
I'm sad that Kryl continues to not be that important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
That's
wouldn't mind
true.
her as a
She's
trust.
Yeah, go on.
She's like the third wheel of the Scions.
She is.
No.
Yeah.
Role.
Yeah. I thought it was funny because before he revealed Estinian, there was like, he said like, oh, there's finally one person that's joining the trust system, and it's someone a lot of people have been requesting and waiting for, and then in chat I just see Papa Limo. I just thought it was really funny, but no, not Papa Limo. It's Estinian.
Didn't Mel say Hoary Boulder?
Yes, Hoary Boulder. That would be funny. Okay, so there are new duty types of duties / activities to take part in. That was
very vague about it.
extremely vague. Extremely vague.
Yeah, there will be new content. Who knows?
Yes, new content coming. There's an update to Gold Saucer with more details to be revealed in the future.
It's also very vague.
Yeah, but
Blackjack. It's coming.
But then something that most people probably had forgotten about. They just showed like this artwork of a lady at a farm, and she's surrounded by minions. There were like a chocobo and a horse, and
one of our famous muscle horses from 14.
Yeah, and this, of course, is what they used to call like minion farm. I think first it was farming, and then it was minion farm, and now we have the final name, Island Sanctuary.
It was always meant for Isgard restoration. What happened?
They
said it.
Well, yeah, I don't worry about it, Rollo.
I mean, it's fine, but
it's not limited to just crafters and gatherers, but they can do certain things in the island sanctuary. You can raise animals and cultivate land of a deserted island, and you can sell what you produce, and you can allow your minions to roam free on the land.
How many minions?
The artwork showed a lot.
It did show a lot, but people can have like 400 minions at this point. I don't think we're seeing 400 minions running around on someone's little island.
But what's not reflected here is that they made it clear that you could like make it your own. Like you're entering a deserted island, and you will be changing it. Like a lot of people were just mentioning like Animal Crossing when this was being showed off.
Do you think this will be like the free instance player housing we've always kind of talked about?
It
Possibly.
sort of feels like that.
Yeah.
Or it's like, okay, well, if you want, you can go buy a plot or whatever. But you get your own little tiny island over here.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Very likely going to be the first chance for people without houses to use a garden.
Yeah, it's true.
I also
it's very exciting. Yeah.
I also kind of hope what you make on this island, like what you sell, will be kind of its own currency kind of thing. I feel like you could make its own like progression system if you did that, instead of it just all being based on I don't know, crafting materials you can grow and sell. I don't want to tie that into the market. I think that would just it would kind of kill it for me a little bit.
I think it will get tied into the market. Everything in this game gets tied back to that market if it's not related specifically to tomes.
It would be very strange if we added another currency, which would like lock. Imagine how much money you could make on your island, and then you just have a limited selection of goods you can buy with them, because it's a different currency. I think it has to be tied into the real economy. Yeah. But maybe they'll introduce some other system where you can get additional stuff for another currency, I guess. Like tomes for the island thing. I don't know. Weeklies. All right. So that's cool. We're going to talk more about that when we get to the interview section. All right. Players can view the Ishgardian residential district at the start of 6.0. Yeah, they announced housing. It is happening in the next expansion.
Who saw it coming?
Well, what a surprise. The housing, however, will not become available until 6.1, which is to be expected. They don't want you to like rush to get a house on expansion day and just have that stress going on. Yes, Georgi?
Probably not until 2022 then.
Probably not. Yep. Yeah. It may not. So this one I'm a little worried about. May not resemble the Firmament exactly, but the Firmament will give a good idea of what the residential district will look like. So I'm wondering, because the Firmament will remain as it is.
Yes.
Because every time I've been in the Firmament, I'm like, wow, this is so big and it's so different from the other housing districts. Because they all kind of feel the same. They all have this vaguely similar layout. I think they're doing that to Ishgard housing as well. We're going to get a housing district that has the Ishgardian style and will look vaguely like the Firmament, but it will still conform to the layout that we know from the other housing districts. That's my prediction. Not that that's a bad thing. It's still a nice environment. I love the aesthetic of the Firmament. Also, remember, there's certain stuff they literally can't put into the housing districts, like the statue and the I guess the all the stuff at the front. Yeah, all the Firmament shit at the front of the housing district is yeah. There's also like that whole thing in the middle with the bridge. It's very like there's a lot of empty space. Like I don't know if stuff like that. I think they'll be adjusting. And I think they want the Firmament to be the Firmament, not a housing district that you can't live in. You know?
You gotta admit though, there's gonna be some like weird justification to be like, God, you guys have worked so hard to build this zone, and it took so long. Here's another identical one for you guys that we just happen to have somewhere else.
Yeah.
24 identical ones.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Battle system adjustments. This is big. We knew it was coming. Not necessarily in this expansion, but we knew it was coming at some. It's inevitable for any MMO that this would come.
They said
it was going to Storm. I mean, Shadowbringer. Sorry.
They did. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. The stat squish.
It's been so long on this.
Yeah, they did.
Why people are going to see go into Shadow. There are still going to be people that will go into
Have you seen
Endwalker.
Twitter, Rollo? Even after all this explanation, people are like losing their shits over this.
I haven't seen anyone upset about it. I don't see why. It makes sense.
People don't like smaller numbers.
No.
My numby had not big.
So they are downscaling values, and they kept emphasizing this point. It does not mean that the players are getting weaker. They're just adjusting the numbers so that they will be smaller. It's just smaller numbers. You're not weaker. The reason for this is that the calculations were causing overflows, which then resulted in bugs. And the further they went, like, if they just kept going, I guess the whole game would just fucking break. Also, the calculations for enmity has reached its limits. So it could stack overflow from max enmity to 0 enmity.
Yo, fuck this guy in particular.
Yeah. Flying text has become lengthy and difficult to like see, and I guess I agree. Although that's kind of the satisfying part.
Yeah, this is the one that I think is the least necessary reason to remove it.
Yeah. But also enemy HP is becoming monstrously high to deal with the increased damage we're dealing. They showed that the highest HP pool for bosses in 5.5 is 440 million HP.
So this is either... There are two things that I think this could be from. The Alliance raid or Zadnor? What was the new Bosnia region?
Right, yes. Yeah, it's... so for me, this doesn't bother me at all. Like,
Yeah.
At some point, you will reach a point where numbers just don't mean anything. Like, oh, I'm doing 60 million damage. Okay, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, little
is that
human...
good? Yeah, at some point you have to do this.
There's a reason back in the old days they just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, big number.
Yeah.
Because once you get to a certain amount, it's just there's no difference really.
Yeah. So
I do wish they would let me disable flying text though for like allies. It's really distracting. And it would help in readability.
Yeah. But don't yours get priority though? So yours will always overlap others?
They do, but it's still just it's like visual noise. Still.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay, differences in values from levels 51 to 80 will be reduced. So up until 50, there's no stat squish. It remains the same. That makes sense. Because it's from 51 and up that values really started to jump. They're trying to create a smoother linear transition in stats throughout levels. Maximum damage per attack will be reduced. Yes, sorry?
Linear transition makes sense because I think right now it's pretty exponential. Like the growth is increasing with each expansion.
Yeah, yeah. Maximum damage per attack will be reduced.
Yep.
That makes
everything
sense.
go down.
Yeah. We'll maintain the same progression feeling from 81 to 90 that has existed in other expansions, so you won't feel any real difference in like the power growth as you level. They will also reduce experience points that you gain, but also reduce the amount of experience points needed to level. So that will just be the same. It's just the numbers are lower.
Again, we needed a lot of XP to level up.
Yes.
Just numbers.
Yeah.
So
It's weird. It's weird
numbers.
doing a quest where you get like 4 million EXP. You're like, okay, wow, that's a lot. So it'll still be the same. It's just smaller numbers. So enemy and HP damage will also be reduced. This is the one point though that some people are worried about. Undersized parties might be more difficult after this.
Yeah.
They did say that this was something a lot of people were worried about. So weren't they? I believe they said they were going to look into this to make it not so bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
at least right now, I personally can't figure out a solution to this
No.
problem.
No.
But they have many more heads than I do.
Yes.
So maybe they can figure it out.
Yeah. So they showed us. Okay, so I feel like this one made it more dramatic when they showed the example. When he gave an example, but you have to remember this: the relative power is still there, because remember, everything is going down. So everything is, it's okay. So here we go. Right now, eye level 530 Black Mage using Fire 4 with no crit or direct hit deals about 50,000 damage. This, after 6.0, will become about 10,000. So from 50k to 10k. The ratio of damage to enemy health will still stay the same. That's that. It's not... You are still just as powerful, it's just that the number is lower.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think
You'll
any
help.
of... What?
Help.
Help?
My pants fell down. I don't know why.
Oh, you're segueing. Good, Rollo.
I don't know why my pants fell down. There's something there, but I don't remember what it's called.
Right, moving on to an old friend that is about to leave us in 6.0. Something that's been there since 1.0. Used to be visible, then it wasn't. And then it was just in this weird spot where it's like, yeah, we still have belts, but why? In 6.0, they're going away, baby. They will no longer be equipable starting in 6.0. All equipped belts will be unequipped and given to the Calamity Salvagers for safekeeping. This includes retainers, and everything will happen automatically. You don't have to do anything. Materia, however, should be removed ahead of time before patch 6.0. I'm assuming all materia slots will just disappear from the belts. Belts will no longer be available for drops in duties or item exchanges. So it's just the end of an era.
Farming Crystal Tower significantly less torturous than it is right now if you're glamour.
Yes.
Even League 2 had belts. I don't know if you guys remember. That shit had belts.
True.
So, it's like we're trying to get a glam in there sometimes.
Oh, God.
I mean, you do at least twice as many items in release.
Yeah,
That is true.
that's true. Yeah, Nomura is in ruins. Like, he is shattered. He's refusing to play this game after 6.0. Now, what's interesting about this is that this frees up 35 slots from our armory chest. And they will take those 35 slots and reallocate them. 15 slots will be given to primary weapons, so you'll now have 50 slots. And another 15 to rings for a total of 50 slots there as well, which is good. The rings definitely need more, because remember, we have to carry 2. So it should have had twice the space, in my opinion. But, well.
And primary weapons definitely needed it as well, because you need 1 per job. It would be like every job only had job-exclusive gear.
Yes. And there's 5 left. And they decided they have to keep those in reserve for a rainy day, which I thought was interesting. But there you go.
Also said they were thinking of making it so that it was only 1 ring slot, but because rings are visible and they realized that some people would glamour different rings to different hands, that at least for now, they will keep the ring system the same.
There's no way Yoshi P will allow the removal of rings in this game.
I wonder if they're going to change up. Go ahead.
Probably gave him that choice when he was working on 2.0. It's like, we can either make the rings disappear or the belts. And he's like, there was no question for him.
Don't touch those rings.
Sorry, Rollo.
What were you saying, Rollo?
I do wonder if they're going to change how much items cost with tomes in the future for like grinding. Like, are things just going to cost a little bit more now because you're spreading out the amount of tomes? They still want you to grind about the same amount of time, even though belts are usually about like 360 something with high end tomes, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder how that's going to be spread out, or if it's going to be disregarded at all.
Yeah.
I feel like they won't. I feel like it's only 1 week less, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's goodbye to belts. Guess an update episode of Roar has to be made for the belts. They're gone. New system update. It's finally coming. Data center travel.
Whoa.
Hold your woos.
Whoa.
Because we do not know how good this system is, because they made it very clear this will be more restrictive than the world visit system, but will allow players to temporarily travel to other data centers, and he just said to take photos, to take screenshots. So while it is nice and have fun, so it's cool that you can visit other data centers, but don't expect it to be like, oh, I'll be able to do fucking expert roulette on Chaos. Because at no point have they said that yet. But hey, you can visit your friends on other data centers.
They did specifically mention that people would be afraid of the impact this would have on the global market within each localized market.
Yes.
And they noted that the effect it had when they made cross-world travel a thing was negligible. So
yes.
Don't be too afraid.
No.
I can't wait to raid Louis Soir.
Why you keep saying raid?
Let's go.
Like this great force that's coming.
Take over. Let's take over Louis Soir. Let's go.
Rollo, what's gonna happen is that the thing is gonna release, and it's just gonna be people from your raid is just gonna be one among many from all over the world. Don't join Rollo's raid on.
Early warning.
Yeah.
Expect a really long explanation of the data center travel at the next Eventfest.
No.
It's coming. It's coming. Also, remember that they're still technically not done, finished, like perfecting World Visit. Remember, you still can't go to people's eternal bonding ceremonies if you're world visiting for some reason. So, I am not as hyped for this yet, because it feels like it's going to come with a lot of asterisks. This system.
No player housing. You can't enter in someone's house. You can't buy from certain shopkeepers.
Yeah.
You can't use your tomes.
What if you're just restricted to the city-state you teleport to? Like, you can only visit in Limsa Laminsa.
That would suck.
All right.
We're gonna swap over from her alts to her mains. Who knows?
That's not gonna happen. You can't do that, because you can't even do what if you can't even do duties, Rollo?
I know.
Duties, we're gonna keep both our characters. If we can do duties, it's probably not as much of a problem.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't think it's gonna be good at launch. That's all I have to say. Right. Final Fantasy XIV for PS5. A native version of PS5 open beta starts on Tuesday, April 13th, 2021. We should probably mention that the president of Square Enix, the CEO, entered the stage to announce this. And he also just blurted out that 5.5 will release on the same day, which they had not announced yet. I guess they had originally probably expected to announce that on the live letter. But then again, these are very scripted. So I have a feeling this was intentional, because that's sort of his persona when he shows up on, like, unannounced on stage. He's like, oh, I'm going to say all the things I'm not allowed to say. So yeah, 5.5 is April 13th, is what he said. The PS5 version will have 4K and 2K modes available. 4K will have visual fidelity in mind. 2K will have frame rate in mind.
2K will probably be for most people, because there are still not that many people that have 4K TVs.
PS4 players can upgrade to the PS5 version at no extra cost. Monthly subscription will still be required. This is the same thing they did with the PS3, so you can upgrade now. I'm Wondering if this will be limited, just as in with the original PS3 upgrade, where they eventually just ended the upgrade campaign. I think they have to at some point, and then if they ever end PS4 support, they'll do the same thing they did with PS3. But that's not going to happen for a long time because, unlike PS4, PS5 is fucking difficult to get a hold of. So
You should get one though.
Also-
Yoshi P wants you.
you should what?
You should get one. Yoshi P wants you to get a PS5.
Well, at some point, but not now. Not, and especially not to play 14. I'm okay on PC for now. But they did show up some footage. The only thing that I think wowed me was, first of all, they have updated the loading screen text, because let's all agree to this. We never talk about it. But the text that appears on screen when you load into a zone is very low res, to the point where you can see all the pixels.
We have a lot of low res UI elements.
Yeah, and that's because of the PS3. But the thing that's shocked me is that they have kept that resolution throughout all the expansions after the PS3 ended. It's very strange. But in the footage we saw, it looked like they've redone them. So hopefully that update drops for PC as well, so we can get the high res text as well. But yeah, the second thing that wowed me was the loading times, which is very fast. But that is the one thing about the PS5 that is like next gen, really, for the PS5 is the loading times. It's very, very fast. So that's good. We said for a short time, until PC has like caught up to the SSD type that they use for the PS5, PC players are going to be the ones that take longer to load in than the PS5.
That's gonna be funny.
Yeah. All right. More information about the open beta will be revealed at a later date. Then they moved on to talking about the Digital Fan Fest, which will take place on May 15th and 16th. So 2 days. They will announce how to tune in or where it will be broadcast at a later time. The stream and concert will be available for free in its entirety. Those that do pay will so you can buy memorabilia, they call it. You can get a unique mount, the Lunar Whale, which is the first ever 8-man mount. Though you can't see the people on it, you actually enter the whale.
You get Vord.
Yeah, you get Vord. But it is an 8-seater mount. We did it. It's there, a full party mount. Although you do have to pay for it, as I expected. You'll also get 3 minions, Edge, Rosa, and Rydia from Final Fantasy IV. So is the Lunar Whale, by the way. Yeah. Pretty cool. I guess we can look at... Yeah, there was also the Amano art that they revealed.
Last thing that they revealed for the announcement special.
Yeah. Would be strange if we didn't have any Amano art. So, of course, this expansion has that as well. Let me get that up. It's essentially Hydaelyn versus Zodiark fighting over the planet of Hydaelyn, I believe. Let's see here.
They're sharing a jawbreaker. They're like, "Oh, after you." No, I insist.
There it is. Yeah, so you can see there's a planet in the middle. I think that is supposed to be Hydaelyn, and there is also the moon, which is strategically placed in the hand, like he's about to clutch the moon, Zodiark. Hydaelyn's holding some sort of staff with 2 balls on it. Orbs. Yeah, there you go. It's really cool.
People are making comparisons to, I believe they're called Chaos and Cosmos from Dissidia.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that makes sense. That it looks very similar. She's from the Realm Reborn box art. Yeah, but that's Hydaelyn. Hydaelyn was on the Realm Reborn box art. Yes, it's really cool. Yeah, like it. It's obviously going to be on the collector's edition of the game. All right, so that is the special announcement. Now, following that was a live letter, and okay. We're gonna get through this very quickly, by the way. This is not.
I wonder why.
This is not a lot of shit. Just went. This is probably everything fell apart for us during this because the first half of this the live letter, they said this is a 2-part live letter, and the first part was good, but very rushed. It was like, we need to get through this fast because there is something coming up. And I'm like, oh, there's gonna be demos. We're gonna see live. We're gonna see shit. No, second half was this interview with the project manager, and it was like watching a lecture. There were PowerPoints. There were arrows pointing in all directions. I had made a battery fresh gummy. I smacked the gummy.
We said some crazy stuff.
We sure did.
Look forward to Honey Pop.
Live letter 62. Anyways, it starts with Duck. Patch 5.5 is called Death Unto Dawn. Release date April 13th, 2021. And 5.55 will release in the end of May. Patch release coincides with the PS5 version's public beta. And Yoshi P did get a PS5. So
don't you worry.
It was funny because he said like that they have a PS5 in-house, but it's like the key is locked away. So that's like some tight security. Like they have like a little box that's locked with the key in it.
It's for development only.
Yes.
And I also like that they seemingly only have one.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so they teased new MSQ. They showed a screenshot of the Alliance leaders and some of the Scions. Who's
it looks
missing?
like Thanker. Y'shtola is missing,
Yes.
and so are Kryl and Tataro.
Yes.
Thancred and Oriange appear to have come back from their reconnaissance in Garlemald.
Yes. So they're probably giving like a report or something here. Or this might be like an emergency meeting. Like, I don't know what's happening, but we know that shit's going pretty badly in Eorzea in this story. So they then reveal, they didn't talk about this for very long. They just said this is part 1 of the story, which will introduce you to Endwalker's story. And the dungeon.
Lys is alive. Don't you worry about that.
Lys is alive. A new dungeon was teased, Pagelthan. So that is the Amalja dungeon.
Another region. Sorry?
You can see the big old tower in it too.
You
It's
can,
pretty
yeah.
Another Beast Tribe region. Limited to being only a dungeon.
One that I don't really feel that bad about. I've never really been that interested in that section, but I can see how it's sad. It's similar to Salpathol. I see it now. I didn't see it as much when it was revealed because I don't really care about the Amalja.
It's not as apparently clear, but if you look on the map, Pagelthan is about as big as Zelphatol is.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the dungeon. It's on fire here as well. So we're mid disaster
We're probably going to investigate those missing Amalja that are teased at the end of 5.4.
Yep. They also mentioned Sorrow of Verlet continuing, showing us literally Diamond Weapon. It's called the Cloud Deck and the Cloud Deck Extreme. Don't know what else to say about that. It's Diamond Weapon.
Valens is wearing some booty armor.
Yes, he
He's
is.
putting on his Xenos cosplay.
Mhm.
He's got that butt padding. It's going to say juicy on the side.
Awful. The character archetype, the hardworking old man, will appear in the story. Yes.
Which is apparently not popular in Japan.
No.
Yoshi felt the need to point out.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does that mean? Hardworking old man. Like a salary man? Is that what they mean?
I don't know, Rollo.
No.
It's
I
very
don't-
vague.
Yeah. Yeah. The third chapter of Yorha Dark Apocalypse. It's called. That's what they called it. The Yorha Dark Apocalypse third chapter, whatever. So the raid name is currently a secret. Yoshi P wonders why it's the third chapter and not the final chapter. Yokotaro. They showed a moth, the giant egg or mothball. What would you was saying, Yurgi?
I was going to say maybe the final chapter is not going to be in our game. Maybe it'll
Yeah,
be in whatever
that's-
new game is next.
That's so Yokotaro if that's the case, but yeah.
To download the new gacha game that's coming out.
Yeah.
Mm.
A weekly quest will be tied to the Yorha storyline. So I think you mentioned it's probably going to be like the Allegan one, probably, maybe? Like
Yeah,
upgrade
it's-
tokens?
It's either going to be one of two. It's going to be like the one for the Crystal Tower, where you had to do all three,
Mhm.
or it will be like, and I hope it will be more like this one, the one that you get at the end of Dunscaith, where you just have to do Dunscaith every week and fight Preralt.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They then mentioned that a lot of people have complained about the PvP gear or the lack of PvP gear. So there's new PvP gear coming, and it's very cool looking. It's got like it's very
You
shadow.
look like a
Priest.
Lich King.
Yeah, it's like Lich King
Yeah.
looking.
But
It's
also-
got a
Okay.
cape.
It's hard for me to get excited because of the cape.
Yeah.
Because you know how
It's
that's
gonna
going
be
to look.
glued to your heels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
What?
It does look really cool. Though.
It does, yes. Updates to Save the Queen. So they okay, this was a whole thing. Apparently, people are confused about the quest for Save the Queen for the upgrade requirements. They also mentioned that they are aware of the imbalance between the alternative methods to acquiring the relic. They went all the way back to 5.3. To like talk about like how that is imbalanced. It was a weird thing. They jumped back before they actually went on to the actual patch stuff. They also mentioned that there will be a hotfix to improve the rewards for cast from Lacus Litore. However, the content will not be changed, as they believe this defeats the purpose of its difficulty. I agree. It's
I agree
not
too.
about the difficulty, it's about the rewards. There's literally like hardly any reason to do it. There's just a huge risk of losing metal doing castrum. So I think if they just added metal to the rewards, a lot would have been done. It's until the hotfix. I love this. Yoshi P encourages people to help each other out.
Yeah, help your brothers out.
Yeah. So this is very short.
Can
but
they give me medal?
I'll just say this was we went through this really quickly, but they talked about this for like half an hour. About
They really
go on.
they really needed to clarify that the step where you have to do either Evilise or Mark raids or Othard and Girbanya fates was only has to be done once.
Yes,
You don't have to do it per relic. It is
Yeah.
only once.
per character.
A lot of people are confused about that.
Yes.
It also makes sense because this is the only step that cannot be done in Bosnia.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's that. They also seem to like, well, I mentioned there's an imbalance between the alternative methods. It feels like they probably want you to, they've seen that it makes no sense for the relic quest, which is tied to Bosnia, to be easier to obtain outside of Bosnia. It's very odd, so they're looking into that. All right, a new area for Bosnia called Zadnor. There's no northern front. It's just Zadnor. And that will be out in 5.55, right? I think that's what we're expecting it.
If we're following the same trend. Or
Yeah.
5.55 0.54 because I think Eureka Hydatos came out in 0.54 if I'm remembering correctly.
That might be true. Yes. Yeah. So don't quote us on this. We don't have the date or the patch for that. There's a new Unreal trial. They didn't reveal anything, but it's coming. There's updates to crafters. There will be more challenging expert recipes because apparently devs have
People ask for them.
Yeah, people have been asking the devs for more. The achievements for these recipes will really make crafters stand out. What did you say, Rollo?
Sorry, what was that, Roland?
I mean, why not? Sure.
Yeah.
People like them, and there's an audience for them, and I'm sure it's not that much work to make some recipes.
I'm curious as to there really better be some good rewards because up till this point, the main reason to be doing expert recipes were Ishgard restoration, and you needed to do 3 for the final step of the Sky Steel tool.
Yeah.
I want to know what these rewards are. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. There's some updates to gatherers. Maps opened via the crafting log will indicate areas where gathering points appear.
It's a gathering log.
Sorry. Gathering log will increase. Will indicate areas where the gathering points appear. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice
Currently,
change.
they do not. They just vaguely position, they vaguely zoom into that area, I think, on the map.
Yeah.
But they don't actually show it. So there you go.
Sucks if there's some elevation change in that area too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
A list of released fish at a fishing hole will be added as well. Good for fishers. More quality.
Very
of life.
convenient.
Still
Know what
You
you
don't
release.
know what you'll be releasing. Like, if you want to catch these fish, you need to know that you will be releasing this type of fish for the remainder of the time you are fishing in this one place.
Yeah. There's an update to the firmament. They found a way to keep it alive after everything has ended. The firmament will periodically celebrate its completion with a new type of content called a fate.
The
Feet.
feet.
Spelled-
Fete.
Yeah. Koji Fox at it again. I think that's funny.
I like this.
Yeah.
It's very clever.
Yeah, that's cool. They didn't really explain much what the fates. I mean, it's in the name. I'm sure. I mean, I wonder what the fates will be though, because we're done building.
Setting up balloons.
Yeah, it's gonna be stuff like that. Yeah. A new custom delivery client will also be added, and it will be tied to the firmament.
I'm a little surprised by that.
Yeah, same. I wonder who it'll be.
Francil.
No, we said that, but there's
Yeah,
been
I
too
know.
many men.
Yeah, it has to be a woman because we haven't had a woman since 4.3, I think.
Mhm.
I need poopy.
Yeah.
I need to dress.
Yeah.
No, undress. That's
Me
what
too,
people need to do.
yeah, that's right. So
The dragon. Elto is a female. Well, dragons are technically genderless. They only identify as a
yes,
gender.
Yeah.
But also you can't dress up Elto.
No.
Elto's a fucking baby. What is that? Don't need that.
Okay. Triple Triad. There's updates to that. Adjustments to 4-star cards in decks and acquisition rates. Didn't specify.
Disappoint me again.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. And there will be a reward for obtaining all Triple Triad cards.
Okay, so apparently this is weirdly phrased because as right now there are rewards for getting to certain milestones because obviously the amount of Triple Triad cards changes with each patch. That's all they mean. That
Yeah.
they will continue to do these rewards when you get to certain milestones.
Yeah. All right. Updates to Explorer mode. They're adding level 70 dungeons. You can disable level sync and eye level sync, so that you can use all of your skills and spells at maximum blast. And you can also use instruments in there now. I don't think I've ever used Explorer mode yet.
No, because it's only level 80 dungeon.
Yeah. Okay, new mount for obtaining all trial mounts will be added. It's a like mechanical thing. It looks a lot like Jade Weapon. It's. I don't know if it is. I mean, it has to be. It's so similar to Jade Weapon.
It looks very much like the Jade Weapon, and it would make sense for them to release it that way.
Yeah.
Allow them to justify it.
Yeah.
They'll probably explain it away as like one of the like what are they called? Ironworks members will be like, you've showed me all these dragons.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
There you go. Now, sad update for raiders, or for the 1%
Of the 1%.
The 1% of the 1%. Ultimate. The ultimate for patch 5.55 was for 5. I think it was just 0.5. Was supposed to be the Dragon Song War Ultimate. However, due to the pandemic, so it's about 70% complete right now. But due to the pandemic, and he went through a lot of this, is like it's been very difficult, and he had to like make. They were so far behind that he had to make a decision on what they had to push back, and obviously the 1% of the 1%. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the. Sorry, the needs of the many outweighs the needs of the few. Someone quoted Star Trek,
correct.
I think, yesterday. Essentially, what happened. So they had to move it, and it was like severely delayed, I believe is what they said. And indeed it is, because at this point, Ultimate will likely not be released until 6.1.
Yeah.
That's a year away.
Yeah. We are in the middle of a pandemic. So the people that are up in arms about this seem to have forgotten that. It's incredibly difficult right now. Like they've said in every fucking interview that even though I hate reading about it, it's clearly been very difficult to coordinate shit during this time where regulations and like advice keeps changing like every week. Like it's difficult to it's hard. So this also is 1% of the 1%. This is content that 99.9% of our community is probably never going to touch. So the people that are screaming now are an extreme minority. I just wanted to point that out because I've seen a lot of aggressive shouting and screaming about like fucking the end of this game because that content has been pushed a little further behind. Well, it's pushed quite far behind. I understand. It sucks if you're one of the raiders that wanted to do Ultimate. I sympathize with you because that might be the only content you're really here for. That sucks. But such is life right now. Everything is difficult.
And I mean, hey, if something had to go and be delayed, I think out of all things, it's best that it's an Ultimate.
Yes. I would say if they had chosen to keep Ultimate and then delay anything else, that would have been worse. Imagine if they're like, oh, we couldn't finish Sorrows of Werlit because we had to do Ultimate. Sorrows of Werlit will continue in 6.1. That is okay, at that point I would be like, oh, that's fucked up. Why would they do that? Yes, it makes sense. Ultimate should have been the one to get pushed back. Yeah. He did apologize profusely. He really wanted this to make it. But
he even asked Foxconn if this needed an English translation during the live letter because he was that adamant that people understand that this is not what he wanted to happen.
Yeah. The world is on fire. Sacrifices we have to make some sacrifices, unfortunately.
Both worlds are on fire.
True. All right. I guess we can touch on the merch a little bit, because it was funny.
A little bit sad, some of it.
Yes, so
Mm.
we can just skip the second part completely with the project manager.
It's interesting, but
Completely irrelevant.
not after being awake or
No.
not after streaming for 13 plus hours.
Yeah. So they showed off some merch. They still do the region exclusive shit, which I just do not understand. It's they showed
real shame.
Yeah. They showed off some cool shirts and hoodies and whatnot first. But they were all like from 4 different regions, and I don't know why you can't have all the shirts in all the stores. But they claim it's because it's made for like regional tastes or whatever. It's like designed for those regions.
That was a very weird explanation.
I find it especially strange that they split off North America and Europe, which I would say are very closely related. I think we have similar tastes in Europe and North America. Very odd. Anyways, it's split into 3 regions: Japan, North America, and Europe. Europe got 1 shirt.
Pretty good shirt though.
It's a good shirt. It's a long sleeve T-shirt with the Bahamut on it and Dalamud. The US got like a T-shirt and a hoodie.
We got the Innocence lady.
Yeah.
We got that on a shirt and a hoodie. And I think we had one other thing. Oh,
Yeah, there was one more thing, I think.
we had the Hades shirt.
The what?
We had a Hades T-shirt.
Oh, Hades T-shirt.
I thought that was Japan exclusive.
The hoodie is.
The hoodie is, yeah.
But the
Yes.
And then
this is so bizarre. So
and then the NA gets the. I think does everyone get the 2021 shirt for FanFest?
no, that's NA.
No, I think that's NA.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get essentially 3 different shirts with one of them being on a hoodie.
Yeah. We got 1. We got 1 shirt, long sleeve T-shirt. That's all. We love long sleeves.
Europe's cold.
Yeah, apparently. Forgot about the South, huh? Right. Yeah, so the shirts, we don't need to touch on that. They're shirts. They're region locked for some reason. It's weird.
Some cool shirts.
They're cool. Yeah, if only they were available everywhere.
Get me a European one. I'll trade you for a Sin Eater shirt.
Okay. Right, so some of the more bizarre... So we've said this before. Square Enix's merch is bizarrely priced. Yeah, it's first of all, weird merch, even weirder prices. They among the things were these. So first of all, the one that I would accept the most are the statues. There were some minion chibi statues. They're based on the minions in game. Of Y'shtola, Estinian, and Green.
Oh yeah, it is Estinian. Sorry.
Yeah,
I thought it was. For a second, I was thinking it was Graha. It's not.
No. They showed them. They're larger than I thought, but I believe they're like, weren't they like $40 a pop?
They're $60.
$60 a pop. There you go. $60 each. That's $180 for all 3 of them, plus shipping. So there's that. That's not okay. I'm like, all right, that's merch. We get that. Then there was this fucking mug, which I think the mug is really cool.
Yes,
but is it like $75? Cool.
It is made of wood. I mean, come on.
It is made of wood.
A nice thing for wood, huh?
I've bought a wooden cup before. You can buy those in like any theme park, and they're made of real wood, and they're like $20. So,
well, maybe that's because they were made by a sweatshop in China. Maybe this has been carved by
artisans.
artisanal,
Yeah.
artisanal crafters, wood carvers in the woods of Japan.
I'm gonna
The dwarf
go out
did
on a limb here and say no. So I don't know. It's they always overprice their merch. But if you want the
most
mug,
egregious example of something overpriced.
yeah. There was some scents, some incense.
The sense of the city states, which I'm still very curious about because they didn't freaking describe the smell of any of them.
No, $40 per incense.
I want all of them,
Yeah.
but there's no way I'm doing that.
No.
I need to pick one, maybe two that I'll actually try and get.
Yeah. Also, I should probably mention that these are all marked as Japan exclusive. I
Yes.
don't think any of the merch they showed other than the shirts. Oh yeah, sorry. No.
No, the textbooks.
We went in. Yeah, there was the fucking text. There were these like notebook things that they showed off, which had like these like Japanese 14 memes on them tied to the characters. There was
That
like
is
a
specific.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, they're specifically based on Japanese textbook design.
Yeah, and so
Very product.
And so, of course, it makes sense that this one is available worldwide. So,
I mean, Yoshi P was just as surprised as
Yes,
we were that
yeah.
it was available worldwide.
There was also, we entered fucking dystopia when they started bringing out masks, which
And mask bags.
and mask bags to keep your masks in. I know they have, masks have been a thing in Japan for a long time, but obviously this is because of a very specific that's why it's available worldwide. But once you go to the website, it very clearly states these are not COVID compliant. So you need to have a separate mask underneath, which has become a normal now. What?
Where you are. Some countries just need you to wear a mask. They don't require the specifically a medical tier mask.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, that's how it is here. So
Those countries that does not require a specific type of mask.
well, who's the warning? Oh, I guess okay, because the warning just says it's not COVID compliant.
It's not COVID compliant because it's not it's not a medical mask, but
Oh, okay.
for the purposes of the law, it is enough in certain locations.
I see. Right. I don't remember what the masks cost. But
I think it was like $15.
yeah. And then there was the mask bag, which they were
$15
like,
is pretty reasonable for a
Yeah,
reusable mask.
that's fine. But then there was the mask case, which
Twice the price.
Yeah, twice the price, and it's essentially a bag. Because they were like, oh, here's the mask case. But it doesn't have to be a mask. You can put other things in here. So essentially, they're selling you a bag. So it was funny. Anything else that stuck out?
There was the most interesting thing, and unfortunately it is Japan exclusive for now, is the physical copy of the Unending Journey.
Oh, yes.
Which has the scripts. Currently, the first volume has the scripts for A Realm Reborn, Heavensward, and Stormblood. Yoshi P is worried that, and assumedly hoping, that they sell well enough, because if they do not, they will not be able to release Volume 2, which will have Shadowbringers and Endwalkers.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's very cool.
Very
it's a
niche.
very cool idea.
Very niche.
yeah,
It's very niche, but I think it'll be very convenient to have.
Yeah. Also, you said, well, we both agreed that it's just also nice to have because it looks really nice. Yeah.
put it on your ottoman or something. I don't know.
It did very briefly give me hope for a third law book, but
Yeah.
maybe one day.
That was what I first thought because I saw 3 books and I'm like, oh, the third
Yeah,
one.
that's what I thought as well. And 2 of them were in the colors of the 2 previous law books.
Yes. Okay.
And I was like, oh, is the blue one for the first?
Yeah. Okay. That was the live letter. Now, immediately following the live letter,
Oh God.
there was an interview with Game Watch, which dives a little deeper into the stuff that was revealed during the live letter. Now, this is obviously translated, and we only really have the answers, so we're just going to go through here. Though 6.0 will separate healers into two categories, barriers or pure, they want to make sure that they will not widen the balance gap. The major point to consider here is that the difference of game experience here, and while both Scholar and Sage are barrier healers, but the approach and specifics of using barriers for those jobs will be different. So they clearly don't want, so we have to interpret some of it. It's a very rough translation, but essentially, because Scholar and Sage are barrier healers, there's, I think, a fear now, I think one that Rollo shares for Astrologian, especially when it becomes a pure healer, is that they'll be the same. It's just same job, but with a different weapon. But they want them to be more different. They want them to be more unique in their approach to that, which is good. I feel like that gives us confirmation that the expansion is gonna focus more on getting healers more unique again. Give them more of a unique flair.
How would you feel if they took away Divine Benison?
Oh God, they are gonna take away Divine Benison.
Yeah, why does he?
Yeah.
It's a shield. I thought he was a pure healer.
So they're just gonna remove every shielding ability that I have.
You only have one, don't you?
Well, I technically have. No, yeah, that doesn't give us that. Yes, the thing the wings. That's aura shield.
Yeah.
So I guess that's
Yeah.
different.
That's not like an aura. That's like an aura heal where around you, isn't it?
Yes, it's around me. So
Yeah.
but it increases defense.
I mean, I will say it's not necessarily going to be the case that they'll take away Divine Benison, because I believe that stacks with Scholar and Nocturnal shields. I don't think they override each other. So
it's a fairly long cooldown anyway, so it's not like a main.
Isn't it only 30 seconds?
Is it?
I think it's just 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Do you like it to keep Benison? I kind of hope that you do. I hope that Astrologian keeps some, like the one on what's the sect? Neutral sect?
Yes. I also I think not they've White Mage is going to be weird after this. Like, there's going to be nothing left of the Realm Reborn White Mage in 6.0. Like, I don't have protect. I have none of my original shields or like defense stuff, like protect, stone skin. If they remove Divine Benison, that's it. It's gone.
You have regen.
I have regens, but
regens are cool, right?
Yeah, they're good, but yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see what happens. So the difference of play and feel, the play feel in having both pure healers versus having only pure barrier healers will depend on the player's skill. Makes sense.
Okay.
Since it's split, the default composition that devs would want you to make will be to bring one pure and one pure healing healer and one pure barrier healer. This will make the content clearing easier. I wonder if this means that Scholar, for instance, will have less pure healing skills and just shielding.
I feel like we only have one. Well, technically two. We have Physic and we have Lustrate are the only two that I think of that are pure healing skills. Fey Illumination is a regen, but that is on the fairy.
I wonder if they'll adjust the fairy.
I wonder that as well. The fairy's already garbage.
Unless they're just making shields like really good at mitigation or something, or last longer.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be a weird balance because they still have to be able to do single player content. I mean, not single player, like 4-man content with just one healer.
Of our pure, like just pure healing. And yeah, chat putting also up indomitability and
Right.
fable. I don't count XCOG because it's kind of a shield, kind of.
Yeah.
But it's like, just regens are always gonna be more efficient and like just straight up better. Like, what are they gonna do to make it? Like, I don't know. Whatever.
Well, no, well, we're supposed to work together. So
Yeah, but I mean, in like 4-man content.
oh, and 4-man content. Yeah, that's true.
Well, four-man well, that's always been the problem for scholars anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
true.
I'm hoping that's gonna be addressed. Then that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. They have to. Otherwise, it'll be very difficult for a scholar to do 4-man content.
Especially if they're gonna be leading more into the barrier and regen difference or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just still waiting for them to let me explode the ferry and swap locations with the ferry, but they never will do these things because people are morons and they've been reducing the amount of things that pets do.
Yeah.
Pets fucking suck in this game.
Yeah.
Doo-doo. They're so responsive.
Yeah. So the healer roles will not be split despite its specifications being split in two. They are still categorized as healers, of course.
Mhm.
This is good clarification because it means that the duty finder probably will not differentiate the two.
Right. Yeah. Though the specifications are split, it will not affect how limit break gauges are filled, and there will be no adjustments on the matter. So there you go. So having two white wait, that will still affect the limit break gauge. Oh, sorry. Having like a white mage and an astrologian will not count as having one of the same type.
Mhm.
I don't know why it would.
No.
It's not like all melee DPS count as the same thing.
Exactly, yeah. Though the specifications between healers will undergo changes to have pure or barrier-based healers, there will be no plans to split the categorizations for main tanks or off tanks. So
Good, because that's sort of how it was before.
yeah.
It's kind of been the case amongst the community anyway.
Mm.
Like,
There's
aren't
still
there
the-
preferred main tanks and off tanks?
Yeah. Yeah. Regarding the new melee DPS. Since Dragoon is currently at a special position, if we're only talking about slots, it was natural to add it there, which is why we decided on having melee DPS as our second new job. There are many new...
So it will share gear with Dragoon?
Yeah, he's mentioning Dragoon, so Dragoon currently shares gear with no one, right?
No. You could be very unique soon, rogues and ninjas.
Yes.
You might have the only unique job gear in the game.
Yeah. Reaper, maiming, yeah. It kind of makes sense, I guess. There are many players who want to play the DPS role, so they tend to add a new job that specializes on attacking. It seems that there hasn't been an expansion where attack-specific jobs isn't added for each expansion. I don't know what this means. On
It just
melee?
It just mean
Every expansion has had at least one DPS.
Oh, DPS, right.
It's very strangely, but that's what it means.
Yeah. Regarding how playing melee DPS is hard/rigid, Yoshida commented that it's never easy to play a job that has restrictions in movement or attack distance when facing complicated mechanics in high difficulty content, no matter which MMO you play. So they are always worried on approaching the aspect on how to dodge those kinds of mechanics. It's not really telling us much about this new DPS job, but there it is. On new skills for 6.0, it'll be hard to create a skill that surpasses Passage of Arms. They wanted more skills like that. So they want to create skills like that for all jobs. So players who have their favorite preference will end up loving their job more because of how cool it is. Oh my god.
Passage Arms, very cool. Also
Yes.
very hard to use.
Yeah.
And
Yes!
Yeah.
that hitbox is not what you think it is.
No.
It's I hope that gets changed up or gets upgraded into just a better skill.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
Make
Yeah.
the wings bigger!
They're working really hard so they can meet the players' expectations. On the aspect of removing belts as well as stat parameters. The stat parameters you gain from belts will be relocated elsewhere coming this expansion due to the removal of the belt slot.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So you're not going to lose any stats. It'll just be put into other stuff. So
Yeah.
don't worry about that. The impact of downscaling stats will be really big, so even without the changes done to the inner formula, the extent of the impact on substats will change because of this. This result in change will be to the point that you ultimately won't even notice it. So, there it is. You won't notice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect any significant changes in the gameplay aside from the sync stuff or unsync stuff,
Yeah.
especially in like time kill.
Yeah. The belts can be used to trade, sell, desynthesize, or can be exchanged for tokens.
Mela doesn't listen to this.
The description for belt equipments. Oh god, if he knows that he can sell them, still like he can still sell the belts. Oh my god, he's gonna buy new retainers for this just to keep belts.
Tokens. Maybe tokens just means like tomes.
I guess so. You can exchange it for tomes. That's interesting.
Mm.
The description.
That's only the ones that would have been 4 tomes.
Yeah. The description for belt equipment will add a sentence that states an equipment that was used to protect the adventurer's waist or something to that effect.
Oh.
That's sad.
My pants, no.
Yeah. Regarding the trust system, all main dungeons that appear in 6.0 will be trust compatible. Not a surprise. They wanted to go all out with the trust system, but doing so will require an enormous amount of cost to make it work. So the team is currently facing challenges and are figuring out how to incorporate them for general use. Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll get our trusts in MSQ roulette.
Yeah,
Maybe
one day. Now here's an interesting part regarding Island Sanctuary. The concept behind the content is to provide players with a more slow life, relaxing feel. So they are making sure any elements of competing with other players is avoided.
You've just told us we can make money from this. There's going to be competition no matter what you do.
Yeah. You will still retain some form of communication with other players, but the content itself is largely solo. Trading within Island Sanctuary and earning gil can be done by planting and growing specialties that you have cultivated, as well as interacting with the features in this game. They will make it so that even if you're not interested in trading, but only want to do it just to grow crops or specialties, can also do so without facing any loss/penalties.
I wouldn't have thought that there were losses or penalties for just...
No.
What if your crop fails?
You are free to admire the minions you love and brought in... What? You are free to admire the minions you love and brought into, or just have fun growing animals you brought into the Island Sanctuary.
Oh, I wanna grow little sheep.
This part, I still struggling a little bit to understand, because I specifically remember them talking about like this is an abandoned island and you'll make it your own.
Yeah.
No further details on what that actually means in this interview either. It's very vague.
Maybe.
Because I don't trust the spaghetti. Yeah.
No, I don't either. Imagine if this is Eureka and we're finally like bringing life back to Eureka.
Oh my god. No.
I hope this, like, however you unlock this, like, you just, the quest for it is like the sketchiest sounding thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, hello, greetings from Osnair. I'm writing to you to say you've inherited an island. Wire me killing skill.
Knowing Koji Fox, the NPC is going to be called... The NPC to start this quest is going to be something like fucking Tim Knack.
Yes, I hope so. All right. Another important part here regarding Hildebrand. The Adventures of Hildebrand was put into hiatus due to the content becoming monotonous and stereotyped.
How dare you?
Now that he's recharged, the devs are now thinking on how to proceed with the content that will answer players' expectations. Please look forward to his return. So he's returning in 6.0, essentially.
Cool.
I'm very curious as to where he went. I'm
Yes.
very confused based on the ending of Stormblood's Hildebrand questline.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I said before, the quest is gonna start out and he's gonna be like, "I'm back. I'd save the first."
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
All right, let's continue.
because we have
Maybe
seen
he-
him.
Hmm.
He appeared
Maybe?
in the dungeon.
Maybe he went to another shard.
He might have gone to another shard, but he did appear on the first in the dungeon.
He appears as a phantom. He doesn't appear
Yeah, he's
as
like, where
a-
the fuck am I?
Yeah.
So that could just
Remember,
be a
those
continuation
were-
of the quest. He just pops in here and then he pops out.
Remember, those aren't the real people, though. They're only like the essence of them.
That's true. Oh yeah, that's true actually. So he could be somewhere else. That's true. Yeah. Okay. Small scale PvP. The rules, maps, and everything about this content is new. Any job can join, and it's currently having healers playing PvP places as a heavy burden and what? Currently having healers playing PvP places a heavy burden and responsibility on them, so they are aiming to make this content role free, and everyone who joins this PvP has a self heal.
Okay.
I'm gonna play basketball on 14.
What's that got to do?
What I'm failing to see how this is relevant to what we're talking about, Rollo.
I don't know. It's gonna be like, what the fuck is PvP if there's like no role requirement, really? You know, like, is it just like, I don't know, move the balls, right click on them and pick them up?
I'm
Hit someone.
assuming you'll still
don't know.
attack each other, but
Yeah.
there's no designated healer. Everyone can heal themselves.
Mm.
Elements like
Does that just make us functionally DPS then?
Yeah, I guess so. It also specifies here what this is. Elements like occupying your opponent's base or taking down your enemy will be added. So, stuff like that. Taking down your enemy is essentially PvP. So I don't know. That's just basic PvP.
I'm laughing at the next line.
A new type of reward system that everyone would want is currently underway.
Everyone would want.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah. There is a possibility that Feast will be temporarily closed down depending on how the content goes.
Oh,
Why?
please.
But why do they do this? They're like, this content is popular. Let's shut down this other one. Like, what is the justification for it? I don't understand it.
They did that with all the old Feast maps.
I know. It's so
And-
weird.
And the what's it called? The Astragolos.
Yeah, poor Astragolos.
Mm.
That whole map just locked away somewhere.
You can't even access it in the same way you can go back to Lycanweed
No.
in the Wolves' Den.
No. Okay, in others, Yoshida thought that aside from flying and swimming, there is no need to further think of any new actions. To begin with, he no longer has any ideas on the matter. So, no
I mean,
new
I agree.
expansion
Yeah.
gimmicks.
Is there
No, I don't think there. No, I don't know.
boating?
Well, he did mention here they thought of a new action like zero gravity, but it would be the same as swimming, and if you jump, you would not be able to land back to the ground anymore, would you? So, yeah, no special actions will be added this time.
That's
Cool.
fine. They're kind of gimmicky sometimes. you know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
especially swimming because you can't like fight in the water. So
No.
I mean, they did that because no one wanted underwater combat.
Yeah. This is interesting. When exploring the moon, it will require the 14 team to interpret how being at the moon feels like. So it will be a testament to their imagination, and they're giving thoughts on how to approach this aspect. Well, first of all, there's apparently oxygen on the moon. There's air crystal or oxygen crystals or whatever, the air crystals.
if we can breathe underwater, we can breathe on the moon, right?
That's true.
different.
No, but that's different because that's
The Trojans-
specifically come.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
water.
the Trojans gave us that ability.
Yeah.
Listen,
I mean,
just
maybe
give us another one, another blessing.
Does it
please.
work in
I
a
know.
vacuum? I guess so.
Nikhil, maybe
Yeah.
we'll get Poo-Poo's blessing.
Please. Poo-poo. Please, poo-poo. Okay. The expansion will involve the moon that everyone thought it would be, so please look forward to it. Yeah. Okay. TM. Oh, well, here you go. They actually asked it here. In the context of 14, since there's no oxygen on the moon, there won't be troublesome elements like suffocation gauge or death if you exit the area.
Imagine, like you walk out of a special air bubble zone and then you have like an oxygen meter.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Oh shit, this is the same thing again. All right. Well, that concludes all of it. I guess in a wrap up, final thoughts, initial. I mean, this happened less than 24 hours ago, so this is very fresh. I am surprised.
Like the gummy.
Still in the sink. The the fact that no one guessed the title, I think, is a first. I don't think that has ever happened. I believe the name has always leaked or been found out by the trademark system early on, and they kept it secret.
Foreskin wasn't real. Let's say.
Yeah, Forspoken. Maybe it was a red herring, or maybe it is the name of Project Athia.
Project Athia.
Who knows? We didn't get Chemist, but I feel like Sage is it has elements of Chemist in it, in that it does ether manipulation. Like it kind of looks a little Chemisty with the weapon.
It's got the science man look, and you get cool funnels.
Yeah.
It's very anime.
Yeah,
very,
funnels. Yeah.
Same about the nothing said about female Rothgar or male Vieira.
I was gonna bring this up.
It
could still happen. It might not.
Well,
I'm just saying people could be things.
I think it's less likely to happen because we didn't hear about it here. Though I will say this. I can understand why they would keep it for the FanFest if they plan to reveal a female Hrothgar as part of the Bosnia storyline.
Yeah, the only thing I can see happening is female Hrothgar because of where the story is right now. And also because that was the race they wanted to make.
Yes.
So maybe there is a chance. I just don't think it's gonna.
I think
you can hold a little hope, but don't expect it, because I don't think you should.
The reason I think that both will happen if we see a female Hrothgar at all is that I think people will be very angry.
Well,
and I think they know that.
I'm so tired. This is like such an old debate that is. I don't know.
It is an old debate, but it's still relevant.
It's going to be relevant for every expansion for the foreseeable future. It's going to be like for male Mithra in 11, and like it's the same thing. But yes, yeah. By the way, 11 never got male Mithra, so there is a chance that we'll never get male Vieira as well. I'm just saying.
Wait for FF17.
Maybe, yeah. All right. That's the show. We've entered a new era in the community in 14. A new expansion is coming. We know the name. We know what to expect. We know kind of where the story is going. Now all we have to do is wait. The next patch, April 13th, will begin the story. Patch 5.5. Look forward to that. We didn't talk about the patch that just dropped this week. We'll do that next week. Remember also to send us mogmail, speakers6iv.com/mogmail, with your thoughts, your theories, your ideas, your opinions on what you've heard of everything that we've just revealed. We didn't reveal. Yes, that's right. We just revealed all the news. Yeah. Welcome to the keynote, everyone.
That was me.
I suspect we're going to see a deluge of interviews over the upcoming weeks.
Yes, indeed. We will, of course, cover as many as we can. Make sure you catch us next week, same time, same place. Remember to follow on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/Speakers of Hydaelyn, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, Discord in chat. If you want to join our Discord server, if you're watching on demand, link is in the description. Send us Mogmail, like I said, speakersxiv.com/Mogmail, and we'll see you tomorrow, Sunday Funday. If not, next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.